Welcome to the DC Daily Drop, your one-stop shop for today's important news in DC movies, TV, and comics. Here are your hosts, Tom and Zach.
Welcome to a Wednesday, December 7th edition of the DC Daily Drop. I'm Tom.
And I'm Zach.
Today we're going to be doing a DC Comics Characters 101 on Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf is not a huge name in the history of DC Comics, but with him set to be the main villain in the 2017 Justice League, we figured now's a good time to introduce people to the comic book history of him.
Yeah.
So, if you don't know much about him, he was created way back in New Gods number 7 in February 1972 by writer and artist Jack Kirby. And he was so important that he lasted a total of one issue.
In a flashback.
Yes, in a flashback. And he was killed. So, spoilers for this 45-year-old story. But essentially, Darkseid's sister was the leader of Apokolips, Hydra, and Steppenwolf was kind of the military leader.
Yeah.
And that also, Hydra's son was Darkseid. So Steppenwolf was Darkseid's uncle.
Right.
That's how we've established how family trees work, right?
Yes.
So in terms of powers, the New Gods are kind of vague, depending on who is writing them. But I would say he's super strong. Being a New God, he's immortal and superhuman physical strength and speed and everything like that. He's got an Electro-Axe. Have you seen this, Zach?
Yes.
So, it's a pretty wicked axe, especially in the New 52, right?
Yeah, and he's really good with it. So that's one of his, I don't know if you call it a power ability, but hand-to-hand combat, he's pretty good.
Right. He's a very much a military leader, kind of similar to Zod, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we said, issue number 7 of New Gods is, I don't know, one of my favorite issues of comics ever. It's titled The Pact. It essentially tells the backstory of the war between New Genesis and Apokolips. And it's also kind of Darkseid's origin.
Mm-hmm.
So in this story, Darkseid kind of manipulates Steppenwolf to kill Highfather's wife. And then, Steppenwolf tries to kill Highfather. Darkseid tells him he's dead, but he realizes that Highfather is really not dead. So Highfather goes back and attacks Steppenwolf and kills him. That's sort of how Darkseid rose up the ranks in Apokolips. He's really good at manipulating people and getting people killed without doing any dirty work himself. But he appeared in a bunch of other stuff and in a bunch of other comics, even though he was apparently killed. None really all that important until the New 52. And you've seen the New 52 version of him, right?
Oh, yeah. And that's that really cool looking picture with his sword and the crazy helmet and stuff that I'm hoping that they base him off of. I hope they base his look off of that in Justice League.
Right, me too. So in this, I think we mentioned this before, but essentially, Apokolips lives outside of the multiverse. So there's theoretically only one Darkseid where there could be infinite Supermen and Flash and everything like that. So while Darkseid and his Parademons invade Earth 1, Steppenwolf takes some Parademons to Earth 2 and just basically goes crazy. It's pretty cool. He sort of, well, it's not cool, but he is awesome in this. He sort of kills Wonder Woman and Superman and Batman also die. And this Earth 2 is sort of their way of introducing backup characters to be the heroes without Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman sort of taking all the spotlight.
Yeah.
But so they've actually got to do pretty well in the invasion, better than Darkseid did, but he's eventually caught and killed.
By Bizarro.
Yeah, sort of a Bizarro version of Superman, Earth 2's version of that.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to guess that we don't see him kill Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman in Justice League.
Right.
Probably won't take that storyline.
Yeah, I hope not. Although I did like my idea about the having showing an Earth 2 version. Imagine if they showed that
right
on screen in Justice League, but then Flash comes over from that universe or warns what would happen.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
But so really, Steppenwolf hasn't been a major character in DC Comics. This is what is so awesome about the New Gods storyline, is that this obscure character that Jack Kirby even only wrote once, really, is now the main villain in the Justice League film.
Yes.
That just shows you how good that storyline is and why I like it so much. In terms of TV and everything, he's been in Superman the Animated Series. That's actually a really good story if you want to see some of him and sort of Darkseid's origin and what an invasion would be like. And he's in that briefly. He was in Justice League Animated Series episode. And he's also been in Batman the Brave and the Bold a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, of course, he was in the extended edition of Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, that deleted weird communion scene with gooey Lex Luthor. Although that probably wasn't really Steppenwolf, it was more of a Kryptonian projection. But still, it was. I'm assuming Steppenwolf will look similar to that, but maybe just not all gray.
And maybe not like 20 feet tall.
Yeah, that's true. he was a good 12 to 15 feet tall in there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So yeah, now we know he's going to be the main villain in Justice League. What do you think about this?
Like you said, he's not really a well-known character. I would guess most of the people who like don't read comics or something have never heard of Steppenwolf.
Right.
And so that being said, though, he's a very interesting character to me, and I think if they're faithful to like what he does in the comics, like if he's a really good military leader and he's really good at hand-to-hand combat, it's going to set up some really cool looking scenes in Justice League. So I would like Superman and Wonder Woman both fighting against him at the same time. I think that would be great to see. I mean, it was really cool to see in Batman versus Superman when they were all fighting together. So more of that is okay with me.
Yeah, and this will give him more of a normal sized threat as opposed to, the monstrous Doomsday, which I know some people had problems with, but now should get more of a human sized being.
Yep. And then obviously his connection to Darkseid excites me because I want to see Darkseid come in at some point.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if we don't see him in Justice League, or at least many references to him.
Yeah.
What's interesting is they don't always get along.
Mm-hmm.
Darkseid and Steppenwolf, either there's usually a lot of conflict there, or else early in their careers there's conflict, and then later in their careers Darkseid kind of makes fun of him and thinks he's kind of useless.
Yeah.
But Steppenwolf is a really good military leader.
Yeah, and then it would be really crazy. I doubt we'll see it, but like your idea of maybe like the events that have happened already are actually on Earth 2, and we see Wonder Woman and Batman get killed, and then Flash shows up from a different Earth.
Like if that nightmare scene was on Earth 2?
Right.
So that vision that Bruce Wayne had or that Barry brought to him?
Right. That would be just nutso to see on screen.
That could be a situation where, that would be crazy.
Is there anything else you want to see from Steppenwolf in Justice League?
I think he'll be a no nonsense guy and just come in and just try to destroy everything.
Yeah,
and not really play around. I'm assuming he'll be coming with Parademons. We already saw a flash of them in Batman v Superman.
Yep.
Which those are some creepy things. But I don't know. What are you hoping for in terms of look? Are you expecting the New 52 thing or something different? Or
I mean, I really like the way he looks in New 52. And they've already said that he's going to be mostly CGI. So I don't know if that's going to be because they're going to keep him really tall, or if they're going to make him look like there's versions of him where he kind of looks like a werewolf, or he has more wolf-like features. So I don't know if they'll go that way. Personally, I hope that the CGI is because of his suit. Maybe his suit looks really cool, kind of like Cyborg.
Well, yeah, and like a lot of people don't know this, but General Zod in Man of Steel, his armor, or all the Kryptonian armor in that, was actually CGI.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that it's that, and we still get to see Ciarán Hinds' face through that mask, that helmet that he has in the New 52 version. Yeah,
I'm hoping to see his humanoid face, and then the rest of it kind of be mocapture.
Yeah.
But yeah, his goofy, his original look is a little bit goofy, I would say. I don't even know how you would describe it. He's sort of in all green and green long sleeves. He's got a cape and this sort of wintry hat. It looks like he's worried about snow or something.
Right.
All the stuff in the New Gods looks pretty cool and hasn't been changed that much, but Steppenwolf really has. I think, yeah, I really like the new 52 look. I'm hoping we get a first look at him soon, either an image released or a peek of him in the trailer. But if not, I would expect we'd be seeing it relatively soon.
Yeah. And then the Electro-Axe is something I hope we get to see a lot of.
Yeah. Again, in the new 52, that looks really sweet.
Yes.
I hope we get to see that in action, but of course, if he uses that on anyone, it would kind of slice right through them. So maybe that's not the best idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
I mean, I guess just like to wrap it up for me, I think Steppenwolf is a really intriguing character that could look really cool and can do some cool stuff. And it's kind of nice that, you know, there have been different versions of him. And I don't think that, I don't know if the fans would react too badly if they changed some key stuff about him. I think it gives some freedom to them to do, you know, kind of their own thing with him in the movie, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, I think 99% of moviegoers would have no idea if he was anything like his comic book character or not. I mean, even among comic book readers, he's a pretty obscure character. It's not like there's a really definitive version of Steppenwolf out there.
Yeah, but I bet we will see New God sales pick up after this movie if they do Steppenwolf well.
Yeah, I would hope so. But yeah, I think, what do you think about his strength? The last thing here, what about his strength? I mean, I assume with the New Gods, I assume they would make them at least as strong as Superman, if not stronger. So it can't be a one-on-one battle. So it requires the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes total sense, especially because, I mean, this is Justice League. They're going to need to have them fighting together. So they need something that's going to require all of them. I hope that it is, he's strong enough that maybe even Superman one-on-one can't take him. It could be that Superman and Wonder Woman and he are all kind of equal, and then the rest of the team has to deal with Parademons or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I could see that.
I hope he's a little bit stronger than Superman, actually.
Yeah, I think to make him a credible threat. I mean, I know we might not get a full strength Superman, at least for most of this movie, especially if he's recovering from the whole little wound in your chest there. That might take him a while to get back 100%.
Yeah.
And like in the Return of Superman, when he returns the first time after dying, quote unquote, he comes back, he's wearing that black suit, and he's like at 60% and not even at his full strength anyway. But I think it's got to be a big enough threat to bring the team together, obviously, and also make Darkseid seem like an even bigger threat, because if Steppenwolf is easily defeated, then that sort of makes Darkseid look lesser.
Right.
Even though Darkseid's stronger than Steppenwolf, you want it to be a challenge, and then you're like, oh, Darkseid's coming, and he's even stronger.
Right.
And he's got these Omega beams that can go in any direction and eviscerate you.
Right.
So yeah. I'm interested to see what he's going to be doing. We know he's probably going to be looking for those mother boxes. I wonder if he's doing some research on perhaps the anti-life equation or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that.
Yeah. There's also a storyline where he has a kid with Wonder Woman, right?
What?
Yeah.
There is?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he and Wonder Woman have a kid, and it's Fury, ends up being Fury.
Where does this happen?
Yeah, so on Earth 2, Steppenwolf actually has a kid with Diana of Amazon named Donna, who also goes by Fury. And so Steppenwolf and Wonder Woman have a kid.
That is crazy. I mean, it is Earth 2.
It's a little different.
So nothing can happen. That's funny. I've read some of the Earth 2. I haven't read that far into it, so I must not have gotten to that part yet. Again,
probably won't see that in the movie.
No, I don't think so. I would be surprised if they went there. All right. Well, that's all we've got for today on Steppenwolf. Thanks for listening. We'll be back again tomorrow.
Thanks for listening, and make sure to check out DC Daily Drop on Twitter, Facebook, and DCDailyDrop.com. Drop by tomorrow for more DC news.